So why San Marzano tomatoes in marinara sauce? Or the actual question is, where are they found? My name is Chef Sanda and welcome. Let's start. Originally they are from Italy and they are grown in volcanic regions. And why is that so? For their lower acidity level, for their more flavorful content, and they are actually naturally sweet. So why am I holding a Roma tomato, one might ask? Burası Türkiye. We don't have San Marzano tomatoes. I start off by scoring the tomatoes. By scoring, I mean marking it by an X like that. And this is going to allow water to penetrate in order to just like soften the skin, in which this skin we don't actually need it because it makes that sauce, the marinara sauce, a little bit on the sour side. So we actually want it to be on the sweeter side, naturally sweet. So Roma tomatoes are also in the plum family. That's actually the reason why I'm also using Roma tomatoes. I'll be adding them into like boiling water for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, just to soften their skins and for them to be easy to peel. Marinara sauce and the ice. Wow. Well, I'm preparing an ice bath for my tomatoes. I actually want to stop that further cooking of my tomatoes. I'm supposed to keep them fresh. So the ice bath is actually responsible for just inactivating that cooking process of my tomatoes. So just taking these ones and putting it into that ice cold water right there, just to allow them to cool off. So why the scoring of the tomato? As you can see, I just put it in boiling water and it has opened up like that. So the skins have softened. I'm going to lift it up with a knife like so, and it comes off easily like that. I prefer using the white onion because it's on the mild side, more flavorful, and I don't use much, by the way. So I'm just going to use half of that. So I crush the garlic in order to just enable that to come off easy. I'm going to cut it into small chunks and finely chop them into smaller pieces, just like the onion itself. So you have to use a quality olive oil of your choice. Then I'm adding some onions into the pot. I'll just fry this for about 2 minutes and I'll add the garlic last for about 30 seconds. So I'm working with white wine. This is mainly for the sweetening of the tomatoes to kind of like make them taste like those Italian ones we were talking about. So I'm going to gently press all my tomatoes and like crush them. And I'm just going to put them onto the stove and they're going to simmer for like about 15 minutes. Now, if you're in culinary school, you would understand that this is actually where you begin. They put you to pluck the leaves over and over again. Like think about plucking 500 grams of like basil leaves on a daily basis. And you repeat it until you are bored. As annoying as it was in my mother's kitchen, that was like one of like, you know, the boring tasks. But guess what? I'm doing it again and I'm doing it for you guys. So you should appreciate. So if you know this particular thing that I'm about to do, you know, it comes by experience. You have to roll your basil leaves as if you're rolling it into a cigarette, just like so. And you take your knife. I furnish it with about half a teaspoon of some oregano. I prefer to add a little bit of white pepper, about almost like a quarter teaspoon. Then I also add about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper using pink salt. I think it's healthier. I add some chopped basil right there. And as you can see, after like mixing it well, I'm going to return it on the fire for about 5 minutes and my marinara sauce is about done. I know a lot of people like it a little bit on the watery side, so you're also allowed to put it into a blender at this point to smoothen it if you like. I added some crumbs to the chicken and I added it into the oven at around 185 degrees Celsius for like about 15 minutes, and this is actually the texture of the chicken breast, as you can see. So I'm also going to be adding some mozzarella right there into like the chicken breast, and I'm also going to be adding like the marinara sauce right on top. So I'm going to put this into the oven until the cheese melts. That will be like around about, let's just say 10 minutes to 15 minutes at around 185 degrees Celsius. So in goes with the marinara sauce. As you can see, I've blended it into a different texture. I smoothened out all that rough texture. Isn't she lovely? I know, it's giving. I like it. So we're going to be taking some black pasta like so. Okay, that looks about fine. I'm going to add some of that marinara sauce right there. And it goes on top of our pasta like so. Isn't she lovely? I'm going to take this chicken like so, and I'm going to serve it right on top like that. The final missing touch. Simple cooking takes a lot of time, but when it comes out, it should be looking delicious, you know. Let me know if you're actually going to try this recipe in the comment section below. Please like, subscribe, and see you in the next video.